Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So it's real easy to become complacent, especially when we've had such good news in the beginning of the year. We saw bills introduced like National Constitutional Carry, National Reciprocity, the Hearing Protection Act, the Shush Act. We saw an executive order to protect the Second Amendment signed by the president himself. These are all great things, but in the background, the left is still working on new gun control, and we have a new bill that has been introduced in Congress to do just that, and it's by Representative Maxwell Frost, and we need to talk about this one, so let's get to it. Now, before we get too deep into what's going on here, this video is proudly sponsored by Aura. Listen, big companies with poor security are getting hacked every single day, and your personal information is being sold on the dark web so spammers, scammers, and identity thieves can target you. I mean, just Google yourself. You might be surprised how much information is already available for anyone to see. Well, instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, get Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security numbers, across billions of data points like the dark web to alert you about potential identity theft, and every adult on the account, up to 5, gets $1 million in identity theft coverage. That's a total of $5 million per one account. But Aura doesn't stop there. With Data Broker Opt-out, Aura will help you remove your personal identifying information from data brokers and people search sites that sell your information to scammers and thieves. Aura also has 24/7 US-based support, a secure password manager, antivirus, VPN, and more. And you get all that on one app at one affordable price. Now, I personally recommend Aura, and you really have nothing to lose because you could try Aura free for 2 weeks. Check out the link down below or click the link in the description box to try Aura for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So one thing you have to understand is that when you give somebody something, that's very easy, right? And when you give it to them often enough, it becomes even easier. But when you want to take that away, it's almost impossible because people get used to having what they are given. And the one thing that the left got really comfortable having was the so-called Office of Gun Violence Prevention, the White House office, right? That was an office that was created by Joe Biden to basically be a think tank of the executive branch to try and come up with new ways to infringe on your Second Amendment rights. Well, obviously we know that the Trump administration ended up closing that. They closed the so-called Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Not only did he close that office, but through his executive order, he actually ordered the Department of Justice to investigate any possible infringements that were created by that office. So that's all great. But now in comes Maxwell Frost. Used to be with March for Our Lives. This guy is the first Gen Zer apparently to be elected to Congress. And this is what we get.
Hey everybody, Congressman Maxwell Frost here, and I am so excited to be reintroducing the Office of Gun Violence Prevention Act with my friend Senator Chris Murphy. Listen, the Office of Gun Violence Prevention was a huge win, and I had been working on it years before I got to Congress when I was the organizing director at March for Our Lives.
So through this act, he wants Congress to create a permanent new office. This office would be part of the executive, and it would be a permanent new bureaucracy. Now, when it comes to the current makeup of Congress, the likelihood of something like this passing is very, very slim. But try and keep in mind that we actually had better numbers in the House last year than we do this year, and they still got the whole Bipartisan Safer Communities Act thing through. So don't ever imagine that something couldn't make it through. This could definitely make it through. Now, the chances of the White House or the president actually signing it are pretty much zero, because I doubt that he's going to go through all of this work to, to get rid of this office, to get rid of any evidence that the office ever existed by getting rid of any infringements that were created by it, just to then go back and then say, okay, I'm going to sign it to create this new office. So the likelihood of this happening, is just absolutely zero. This is not something that's going to work. However, try and keep in mind that we are in a one-term administration here, right? So we have 4 years. That means in 2 years, you're going to start seeing all new coverage on the new people that are going to be running, and there's going to be a whole new race that's going to be covered for 2 years. And so while this doesn't have a chance of being signed now, if they continue to push for this stuff, because he's been pushing for it for years, if the winds change again and we end up with somebody new, this is definitely something that could happen. So really what we need to do here is we need to be prepared. We need to be 2 steps ahead. Take notice of everything that they are introducing now, because you know it's going to be introduced again in the future. If the winds shift in their direction and they have the makeup like we have now when it comes to Congress and the White House, then you can almost guarantee that this is something that is going to be reintroduced in the future. So the best thing that you can do now is to contact your representatives, let them know that you absolutely oppose it, let them know that they need to oppose it in Congress, and just basically put an end to it now and any time in the future that this comes up. If you don't say anything about it because you just know, like we all know, it's not going to get signed by the president, so I'm just going to sit back and just be complicit, well, guess what? In the future, this could be something that ends up making it all the way through. So we need to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. We need to stop it before it starts. We need to be proactive now and not reactive then. So we need to make sure that we let people know that stuff like this just isn't going to fly. It doesn't matter who is signing all the papers. So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know about that and let you know that they are trying to make this office a permanent part of government. This is something that everybody needs to know about. So again, make sure you share this video. Likes are always appreciated. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps us out quite a bit. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Please like, again, subscribe. You have a great day.